Gotta Have It TV at Sil Motors. We're talking with Jack, the owner of the Ford dealership. Jack, tell me about this wonderful car that I've been so excited to see today.
Well, this is the most fun you can have with your clothes on. It's the Ford GT, 550 horsepower, and it's a kick to drive.
I tell you, 550 horsepower, that's a lot of horsepower.
A lot of horsepower, 0 to 60 in 3.7 seconds.
What's top speed on something like this?
About 200 miles an hour.
Have you ever had it 200 miles an hour?
Not in this city, but legally I have had it there on a track.
Now, I know they really stepped up on the suspension and stuff like that. What's it like traveling that fast in a car like this?
It's a race car. It's very simply a race car with just ability to go on the street.
This is a very unique car, and it looks totally different from anything you've ever seen or I have seen. Tell me why the hood looks this way.
Well, we got to go back in time. This car was the Le Mans winner in 66, 7, and 8. And the car was actually developed to beat Enzo Ferrari by Henry Ford II. And at that time, they did this front end. It allowed them to get cooling in those big divots, I'd call them, in the front. It allowed them to get cooling to the engine that was in the rear.
These are Z-rated tires, aren't they?
Oh, yeah, Z-rated tires. Those are Brembo 4-piston brakes, cross-drilled, bring the car from 60 to 0 in about 117 feet.
Jack lifted the hood so we could see the power plant behind the Ford GT.
This engine is 550 horsepower. It's supercharged. Again, it goes 0 to 60 in 3.7 seconds, and you better be holding on.
There's a lot of unique features that I'm looking at that I've never seen before. What are the top 3 that separates this engine compartment from all others?
Well, that suspension could only be found on a race car. I doubt you'd find it anywhere else in the world. It's a dry sump engine, so there's a big container there for the oil. And, of course, the supercharger gives it the extra horsepower to get it going so fast.
Amazing.
It's pretty bad.
Jack, the shifter, it looks cool, but tell me about the transmission.
Transmission is a 6-speed. It's actually mounted in the back. That way you can keep the weight 50-50 balanced so the car has great driving dynamics.
The interior is spectacular, but a car like this has got to have tunes. Tell me about the stereo.
Well, if you get bored listening to the engine, it hadn't happened yet. You got 850 watts of Macintosh stereo, big subwoofer, and it'll really rock.
Jack, I cannot thank you enough for sharing your toy with us at Gotta Have It TV. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and I'm going to go out and have a little fun now.
Gotta Have It TV with the Ford GT.